Hey, Colin, thank
Hello.
you so much. Welcome to London Lens TV.
Thank you.
This is the Blackpool Connection. Usually there's only me. Mike's helped me yesterday, but it's only little old me and my little phone. So usually we interview people doing gigs in London. Now we're at Blackpool, at Rebellion. I thought I'd just grab you.
But we are playing London soon, of course.
When are you, okay, good plug. When are you playing London?
It's our 50th anniversary show. We've got 2 nights at the Camden Roundhouse.
Of course, 2 nights at the Camden Roundhouse. You're going, aren't you?
Yeah.
I'm yet to get my ticket.
Yeah.
I'm yet to blag my ticket.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, so I'm glad you mentioned that. It's your 50-year anniversary.
Yep, unbelievable.
Yeah, it is unbelievable.
Who would have thought it?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to ask you. So in 1972, what was the first song you wrote together?
Blimey. There were loads of really bad songs that never really saw the light of day.
Right.
But we thought they were really good and cool at the time, and they were awful. And our road manager found a reel-to-reel tape the other day of our very first recording with 4 songs on there, which have long been forgotten.
Yeah.
And we swore that we'd kill him if they ever went anywhere, because they are shocking.
Send them to me.
They're shocking. So bad.
And did you think, how far did everyone who starts a band wants to get somewhere, right? Everyone, as much as we all say, I don't want to be famous, I don't want to be rich.
Yeah.
Being honest, you wouldn't put in all that work if you didn't want to be successful in some way.
No, I mean, when we were at school, there were 4 or 5 bands knocking around as you do get, as you get in schools. And we just decided one day that I was in one band and the other guys were in a different band, and we just thought that neither of them were particularly good, so it would have been a good idea if we got together and did it. And the idea was just to have some fun, really, and then, our friendship sort of developed out of that, and that's been at the forefront for the last 50 years.
That's what you've always said. You're just mates having a laugh and enjoying life.
No, exactly. And that's still the case. We had a great time last night here. London will be fun.
Yeah.
We're going to try and make it a little bit different for people. And that to us is the most important thing. You see so many bands who are just going through the motions almost, who don't really want to do it, but come back to do it for one reason or another.
Yeah.
And don't see each other, don't talk to each other. I mean, if Cock Sparrer never played again, we would still meet up. We'd still have beers, we'd still have family barbecues. I mean, I think 2 weeks after the Roundhouse gigs, we've arranged for everybody to come to my house with all their kids and their kids, and the house is big enough. We worked out we've got about 50 people coming. So we're going to get a bouncy castle in the garden for Daryl, and and what does the youngest member of the band say? And that to us is the most important thing.
Yeah, great. Love that.
Yeah. So no, when we started, there was no great ambitions to do anything other than that, which was just to try and write some songs, have some fun, get out and play to some people, and didn't expect it to go anywhere at all, to be honest.
50 years, goodness me. Now, it always surprises me when there are people in the world that haven't heard of Cock Sparrer, but there will be.
It's true. There are loads of people. Someone came up with the strapline once as the biggest band you've never heard of, and that is the case. And people say, "Oh, you're in a band? What's the name of the band?" And we say, "You won't know the name. You won't recognise the band. We're not famous."
Yeah.
The band's called so they go, "Never heard of you."
Yeah.
And that happens all the time.
Exactly.
We never did Top of the Pops. We never had a hit record.
Of course, I forget that. Yeah. So Rebellion is back.
Yeah.
Bigger and better than ever.
Unbelievable this year.
Got the festival stage down on the beach. It is unbelievable.
Yeah.
The festival stage on the beach. I've never known it as friendly as this is. This is the friendliest year I've ever seen.
It seems as though people are just genuinely pleased to be back.
Yeah.
And you're still getting people going, "Do we hug? Do you want to fist bump me? How do we approach this?" Because people are still cautious, obviously, but now was the time to do it. Yeah. And I think this year was the most successful in terms of ticket sales ever.
Great.
Certainly we came up on Thursday, and I've never seen a busier Thursday than this year.
It was really, we were saying the same, because we came on Wednesday, and we were saying the same. It was busy. Even down at the beach, it was on the R-Fest stage, it was
and it's fantastic because, the biggest thing about Rebellion, I think, is that it's a massive social. I think everyone meets up with mates they haven't seen, especially during the COVID times, but sometimes it's just like on an annual thing. You haven't seen somebody for a long time. You come here and you bump into them, go, "Oh God, how are you?
Yeah.
How's the family? How you do?" All that sort of stuff. So there's a real social element to Rebellion, and even more so this year, because I just think people are pleased to be back in the same room together.
Yeah, and you always go away with new friends as well.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I've been to so many other festivals, and they're not the same as Rebellion. Okay, every festival's different in its own right anyway. But the friendships that you make at Rebellion are not, the connections are not like any other.
No, I understand that. I totally agree with that. I mean, it's like, you have relationships with people for different things, and you've definitely got a different relationship with people who come here that you just see. On the odd occasion you do come back to Blackpool. What
is your favourite Cock Sparrer album?
Blimey. Looks like killing one of your children.
Yeah.
I mean, Shock Troops is the most popular. Still outsells all the others.
Yeah.
We still play 95% of that live still.
Yeah.
Those are the most recognisable songs, I guess. I'm going to cop out. I mean, I like them all for different reasons.
Yeah.
Running Right in '84 was so different to anything else we've ever done, and that was mainly because of Shug's influence. Who was our guitarist at the time. He had a lot of input into the songs on the album. Forever I Love, because it was approached in a different way. Daryl was more involved with the songwriting, so we came at it from different angles. The two in the middle, Guilty as Charged, and one whose name I've just forgotten, is they've just got some great songs on them, So for different reasons, different albums. But I suppose if I had to choose one, it'd probably be Shock Troops.
Cool, that's my one as well. What's yours, Mike?
Latest one.
The latest one, nice one.
Yeah.
We had a bet last night. He won the bet because when we've seen you together quite a few times, haven't we? And we always, he always says, "What do you think the first song's going to be?" And I always get it wrong, even though I really should know that it's.
What, live?
Yeah.
Yeah, Riot Squad.
Riot Squad. I know. But I'm like, I know. And I'm like, yeah, but they might change it this time. You never know.
Here's a true story, right? We changed it one year at Rebellion, and we started with Running Riot. And there was a guy came up to us after the show, and he said, "Thanks for that." We said, "What?" He goes, "I had a new girlfriend. I brought her with me, and I was convincing her how well I know the band." And I said, "They've told me they're going to start with Riot Squad." And we didn't. So we blew his cover completely. Right? He said, "Thanks very much for that." He said, "One year, which you can't win. You try to do something different." But we've tried different things, and it's just like when that starts with Mickey's two notes, siren type introduction. It just seems to work, and everyone's here, and everyone's. We've tried to change it around so much. We've tried to introduce new songs, which we do from time to time. But they're the songs that people want to seem to hear. Yeah. And they're paying the money, so who are we to dictate? I hate going to see bands who, here's our new album. Sit back, we're going to do this. Okay, well that's cool, but tell me before I buy the ticket that's what you're going to do. Then I can make up decisions as to whether I'm going to come or not. Yeah. But we've chopped and changed it around a few times, but this seems to be the formula that people want to hear. So. We're happy to do that.
Especially at a festival. A festival set is always different to your own gig set.
No, absolutely. We did a small club show thing last year, and we're playing to a couple of hundred people every night, and we tried to introduce different songs that we wouldn't normally do, stuff they wouldn't have heard before. But you still start with that. You still finish with England, and we're coming back. So they don't change. So you can fiddle with the middle bit, as much as you can, chop and change half a dozen songs in there. But it seems to be working, so why change it?
Why change it?
Especially this time in our careers.
You always celebrate new bands and acts. I've always admired you guys for that. You're always encouraging your audience to check out new bands and new acts, and you're always encouraging new acts to keep playing and keep putting the work in. What I'm going to mention Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan, yeah.
Bob Dylan, I messed that up, didn't I?
He's a new up-and-coming young lad.
He's an up-and-coming young guy, yeah. If he sticks to it, he might be all right. Bob Dylan, I saw them last night. Were you there?
Yeah.
And they packed out the Empress Ballroom, right?
I know.
Amazing.
Yeah, and I mean, so original.
Yeah.
And so good. And, we're thinking, we can hardly keep our guitars in tune. How's this all working?
Yeah.
There's a guy and a drummer, and
they're just utilising all resources, aren't they? And interrupting the industry, as I was saying to my friend.
And they're going to be huge.
They are going to be absolutely
you can tell.
huge,
You can look at someone and you can say, they've got what it takes.
Yeah.
You know, and there are a few bands that we've seen like that along the way. You know, so yeah, good luck. I mean, last night was a real eye opener for me. You know, that time of night, that many people in the Empress. I mean, they were supposed to play on another stage.
That's right.
And they
yeah.
changed it during the day because of, I guess, because of the interest. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was pretty much word of mouth, wasn't it? That they.
Yeah, I think it's a sensible thing. If you're going to have an act on and they're going to oversell that capacity and you can't get people in and there's disgruntled punters at the front door and security guys trying to keep everything calm. Just and there's a room not being used that's bigger. Open a bigger room and let everyone be comfortable, which is what they did. I mean, that's what Rebellion did yesterday. They thought on their feet, and it was a great result. Because you say the Empress was packed, which for a new act was unbelievable.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah,
and as you say, at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Absolutely.
This year, who's been your favourite act this year? If you're going to let yourself say it out loud.
No, Rebellion.
Yeah.
I love the Bouncing Souls. I watched them the other day in the arena, and they're good mates and they're really nice people, and just write some cracking songs. Yeah. So I really enjoyed them. I've enjoyed a couple of things up in the acoustic room as well. Bless me, I can't remember her name now, but I mean, I watched a girl in there yesterday. She had a fantastic voice. Bought a t-shirt.
Nice.
As you do.
Yeah.
Probably never wear it, but I bought a t-shirt. But there's a lot of good stuff on this year.
Yeah.
I've seen lots of good things. You know, funny enough, you take the opportunity to catch up on things maybe you wouldn't bother to go to see normally.
Yeah.
You know, I've been watching Claire Grogan, all the images out on the beach. You know, which was a nice experience.
Yeah.
You know, and tonight we'll go and see Billy Bragg and
of course,
and Squeeze.
Yeah.
Because my kids, you know, Squeeze were our car journey music, you know. When my kids grew up on Squeeze. I took my two daughters, their first ever gig was to a Squeeze gig.
Seriously?
Yeah. And they were tiny. Hannah was 9, I think Grace was 7 or something like that. And we saw them in Southend. And the Squeeze crowd, being nice people as they are, we're thinking these kids come down the front, you know, so they all partied and they stood down the barrier. And then I looked up 3 songs in, and Gracie, who was about 7, falling asleep fast on the barrier. Now, if you're on stage, you look down, and there's a kid falling asleep right in front of you, think, what am I doing wrong here? Is it not that exciting?
Must have been their soulful voices.
Exactly. But I mean, wherever we went in the car, it was always the Squeeze CD or cassette that went on, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
and that's what they grew up with. So tonight we'll take a moment, and it's a shame Tom's had to go off and do the Interrupters tour. Not a shame, brilliant for him, but I mean, we would have had fun down there tonight singing along to Squeeze.
Yeah, I love Squeeze. I grew up on them as well.
Yeah, that was his favourite gig.
Did he?
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. We've seen them loads of times.
I've never seen them.
Oh,
I'd love to. No, I haven't. But I have a lot of family memories as well.
Yeah, I've just heard that Chris Difford's not making it. He's not very well apparently. But I mean, you know, still be great.
It will be. Yeah.
Still be great.
Okay, quick fire round.
Yeah.
Your favourite gig as a band member ever in life?
Okay, quick fire. Favourite gig for different reasons was the Astoria back in 1992. I'm going to say. Darren will watch this and go, not 93. 92, I'm going to say. And that was because that was the first time really we realised that we might have something going on. You know, we hadn't played for a while. Yeah. Guy said, do you want to come play the Astoria? We said, what's the point? No one's going to come. We said, no, they'll come. And people came from all over. Yeah. Because everyone thought that was the only time they're going to get to see us.
That's the year I heard of you.
So we did that, and that's stuck with me for that reason. Not necessarily the best or the most fun or, you know, the most profitable or whatever, just for that reason. For the first time, we stood out on stage and thought, Christ, these people come to see us, you know? Yeah. And they knew every word to every song, better than we did. and they were just, it was just fantastic. So the Astoria back in 92.
Great. And your favourite gig as an audience member ever?
Ooh, AC/DC at the Marquee Club on their very first tour over.
Fantastic. Yeah. My friend was doing the lighting for that gig.
No way.
Yeah.
We used to know a guy who worked in the Marquee and he used to let us in the back door for free. And he gave us the heads up about a week before that and said it's going to be busy, so get down early. So we got down there at 6:30 and he opened the back door and we snuck in, sort of thing. Nice. And I've never been in a sweatier environment in my life.
Sounds nice.
It was like showering off the ceiling.
I like Dingles.
You know, like that. But to this day, for atmosphere, you know, for impact, for thinking, oh my word, you know, these are good.
Yeah.
It was them. Seen lots of other, obviously, good shows and good performances by loads of bands, but that's the one that sticks in my memory.
Yeah. Cool.
They'll take
That's
some
a cool-
beatings, so.
Best up and coming band, doesn't have to be punk.
Bastard Preachers.
They're
No,
they're
come on, that's
established.
fair.
They're
That's
established, Colin.
They're not. They're up and coming. They're new. They're learning.
But to be fair to them, they're great and they do get better every time I see them.
I'm biased.
You have already told us that you're playing at the Roundhouse next month.
Yeah.
For your 50-year anniversary.
Yeah.
Again, congratulations.
Thank you.
What comes next?
We've got a few more gigs to do this year. We've got a couple in Sweden. We've got one in Germany, and I think another one in Barcelona towards the end of the year. Being our 50th year, we didn't want to do a great deal. We wanted to be a bit selective and cherry pick some of the shows. So Rebellion, Punk and Disorderly,
Yeah.
the Roundhouse shows, obviously. We did a couple earlier this year. We did a gig recently down in what's the name of the place? I can't remember. Just outside Barcelona again, which was a psychobilly festival, and we were crapping ourselves, you know, because it was all psychobilly bands and us, you know.
Is it Pineda?
It was Pineda. Yeah. How's this going to go down? And it was absolutely brilliant. You know, so much fun. Such a good crowd. Such a good crack it turned out. Didn't expect it to be. So this year we wanted to do a few selected gigs. Next year, who knows? Nothing planned yet. You know, we're not getting any younger. We about a year ago went in the studio and recorded 6 or 7 new songs. We're in the process of deciding what to do with that, whether we finish it as an album and go forward with that, or release them as an EP, or do just a few singles, or do nothing with them. Don't know yet.
Fair
so
enough.
there may be some time next year to look at that in a bit more detail. Cool. But we will just keep doing what we're doing, you know, and if we're playing, fantastic, and if we're not doing gigs, then we'll still be meeting up and having a beer and you know, doing the family thing.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Colin McFaull from Cock Sparrer. Thanks for joining London
Thanks,
Ends
Carrie.
TV.
Really enjoyed it. Thanks, mate.